Okay, the first question will come from Ken Wagner.
Thanks, Steve. I just want to make sure that we all know you're not going to lead when you come with your questioning for two people, for instance. You're just going to go by what the Constitution says for the state of Nevada. You're not going to read into it other things than it ever possibly could say. Being up on the bench is important for all judges. And I just want to make sure that before I give you my vote, I just want to make sure that you can promise this group and everyone listening that you're not going to legislate from the bench. That's my main concern with judges. So that's my question.
Well, thank you for leading with that question. You know, I've been an advocate for judicial appointment 3 times, and each time I've told the commission that I don't believe judges should legislate from the bench. The Constitution and laws need to be followed. Judges don't make law, they enforce and apply the law. And that's what I've always said. I've been lucky enough to make it through. My name's been forwarded to the governor 3 times. That's always what I say. That's what I say on the campaign trail. That's the type of judge I would intend to be.
Thank you. And I'm going to hold you to that after you're the judge and you come before us next.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Travis Barrett. And for the record, I just want to say Nancy Elf is the only candidate we're going to be interviewing for department number 27 at this time.
Thank you. My question for you involves the use of your discretion. If you could put yourself on the bench and you receive a phone call from counsel in another state representing a veteran who's receiving treatment in another state, unfortunately has a felony warrant in the state of Nevada. That warrant, if left undealt with, would terminate that veteran's right to treatment benefits. What's your position, or what kind of discretion do you think you would exercise in allowing a veteran to remain in another jurisdiction and treatment?
You know, I am very supportive of the legislation that establishes a Veterans Court in Nevada. You know, I'm very supportive about the idea of specialty courts. And the idea of getting a phone call from a lawyer out of state, to me, is an ex parte contact. That makes me a little uncomfortable. But I would set that for hearing immediately, and if necessary, allow that lawyer to appear by phone. Only, you know, the system works when both sides are there, so you have to give both sides the opportunity to be there. But I would set a hearing immediately on that. I would use discretion to make sure that the rights are protected. I see it as the job of the courts to protect the rights of all the parties by enforcing the Constitution and applying the law.
Thank you. Cheryl Gardner.
Good morning, Ms. Elf. I checked everybody's website in the last couple of weeks, and thank God you had a good one. Can you, this is probably a question that, can you just tell us your specialty of law and how long you've been practicing in Nevada?
Oh, thank you for that question. I've been a lawyer in Nevada since 1983 and have been practicing full-time since then. I have worked with small firms, law firms. I currently have my own law firm. We have 4 employees. I do primarily business litigation. I've done that since 1983. I do business litigation in state court, federal court, and in bankruptcy court. And probably the main focus is the litigation in bankruptcy court. But I don't say I'm just a bankruptcy lawyer. I would say that I'm a business litigator who practices in that court as well. I've tried a lot of cases. You know, in the civil context, if you get 1 or 2 trials a year, you're doing well, unlike in the criminal cases where they can try a case every month. But I do have a lot of trial experience as well, including I've been also an appointed judge at every level of court in the state of Nevada.
Thank you. Michael Mason.
I have a question on the new mandatory electronic filing system for the district court. How do you see that impacting the cases that are filed and some of the challenges that come along with implementing that new system?
I think it's incumbent on the court system to be accessible to all people, to all citizens. So the new electronic filing system troubles me a bit, I'll be frank with you. Not only that, there's a fee associated with the filing. And so I think that could limit access to courts for regular people, and I hate that idea. Now, in federal court, we use the PACER system where we e-file everything, and that's great because there's no fee associated with it, and you have access to the dockets all of the time. You can pull up the document, and you do pay a charge for that, but it's the access that's so important. So the mandatory e-filing gives me a little bit of heartburn, I'll be frank with you.
Thank you. David Rivers?
In your opinion, does the Nevada Supreme Court have the authority under the separation of powers doctrine to order either the executive or the legislative branches to act in a particular manner?
Well, if you're mentioning the Gwynn decision, I've been a very outspoken critic of that decision. I felt that, you know, judicial discretion is important. I didn't see the grounding in our Constitution for that decision. I never did, and I could never have signed off on a decision like that.
Thank you.